The truth about lust. Hey, what's up? It's Patrick. It's Rose via Fire. And I pray this message reaches who it needs to reach. So let's talk about the truth about lust. So I'm going to keep it real with you, bro. Lust is one of the hardest things to deal with. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure so many people out there, they dealt with lust or they struggle with lust bro, lust is one of those things that's just hard to deal with. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us, we do struggle with lust. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it real. And this message, I'm just going to be pretty much giving away like some advice and some tips on how to fight against lust, bro. And I'm going to just keep it real with you. Language is powerful and words are powerful as well. So on this message, I'm just going to pretty much be focusing about the language that we use. And there is such things as like the language of lust. Because you got to understand, the language that we use is one of the root issues when it comes to lust. And I'm going to explain what I mean. It's like lust is already crazy enough to deal with. We all be dealing with lust. But it's like sometimes it's like the language that we use, it just adds fuel to the fire, bro. Like it's like the language we use is like it just adds fuel to that already strong fire. The lust is already strong. The hormones and emotions and all this stuff are strong as hell already, bro. So now we adding language to it and we just adding fuel to the fire. And what do I mean by the language of lust? You know what I'm saying? The language of lust, and I wrote down some notes real quick. That's why I'm looking down. But the language of lust, bro, is pretty much when you say things, you know what I'm saying? It's like the things you say out of lust. For example, let's say you love somebody, right? You're gonna use different words and you're gonna say different things. But when you're lusting for somebody, you're gonna say different things and you're gonna use different words. So what I'm saying is like, when you cut out the language of lust and like just the words of lust, I'm telling you, it's just gonna help a lot, bro. Because you gotta understand, like, even like when you say certain things out of lust, even let it be your thoughts too. When you use like words of lust and like the language of lust, even in your thoughts too, in the words in your thoughts too, you could just feel the lust just build up in your heart right away, just like that, just by using certain words and certain language. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, in the media, in the music, the language of lust is promoted so strongly. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see like these rappers talking about, they be calling women the B word. You know what I'm saying? They be talking about they had sex with this woman and this woman gave him head, bro. And this woman the woman gave this man top and this and that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like these rappers be saying all these lines. And that is a prime example of the language of lust, bro. You know what I'm saying? So like, how you expect to fight against lust when the words that you use and the language that you use is filled with lust? You get what I mean? So it's like one of the ways to fight against lust is to change the words that you use, the words that we use, the words that we see all in the music. You know what I'm saying? The degrading words. Because you got to understand, a lot of times, bro, these words and the way we be talking about, you know what I'm saying? The way we be talking about like women and stuff like that, bro, in the music and this and that, you know what I'm saying? We as a people, bro, the way that these rappers be putting it out in the music, bro, it's degrading. Like the language of lust is very degrading. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, when you start to replace the language of lust and like the words of lust, and you start to use different words, and you start to pretty much just cut down on just using the language of lust and the words of lust, and you start using like different words, and like, let's say you're attracted to somebody, instead of like using like all these the language of lust and all these vocabulary of lust and all that stuff, bro, you could just still keep it real, be like, hey, you know what I'm saying, I'm attracted to this person and this and that, but without calling them the B word, without being talking about, oh, this person gave me head, bro, and this and that, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like the language that we use is one of the things that fills our hearts with lust. Because remember, words is powerful, bro. Words is powerful, and well, what the Bible say, bro? The power of life and death is in the words. So it's like when we say all these degrading things and we use the language of lust and we use the words of lust, it's just gonna add fire to the lust. Lust is already strong enough. It don't need more fire. You get what I mean? So it's like when we change the words that we say and we change the words like that we use, it just changes everything, bro. I'm telling you, it make you feel much better, bro. When you use the language of lust, it's like you could just feel the lust just build up immediately. You know what I'm saying? When you change the vocabulary, bro, I'm telling you, bro, it changes how you think and how you feel. I'm not going to say you're going to be perfect. I'm not going to say you're going to become like 0%, no lust or nothing like that. I'm just saying it's going to help, bro, because the language and the words is powerful, bro. I'm trying to tell you. And let me look at my notes real quick. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, let's go back to that example. When you love somebody, you're going to use a different language versus when you're lusting over somebody. When a person loves somebody, they going to use different language from when they lusting over somebody. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, there's a difference between the language of lust and the language of love, if that makes sense. And a lot of time, bro, like, even in our thoughts, especially in our thoughts, bro, especially in our thoughts, if we could just change the words that we use in our thoughts, you know what I'm saying? And we could change the words that we say out loud, bro, it just makes a huge difference. Because once you eliminate the language of lust, that's one of the root causes that's be fueling the lust. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not going to say that's the only root cause of lust, but that's one of the root causes of lust. It's the language, bro. It's the words that we choose to use, bro. And what else I wrote down? You're gonna feel the emotions, but oh yeah, like what I wanted to say is like you're gonna feel the emotions, like, cause we all got emotions, bro. We all human at the end of the day. But at the same time, it's like what words are you gonna choose to use after you feel those emotions? You know what I'm saying? After you feel attracted to this person, what words do you choose to use? You get what I mean? Are you going to use the words of lust? Are you going to use the language of lust? Or are you going to use a language of like a different language? You know what I'm saying? Like instead of like just being degrading and be like, oh, for example, I'm going to use kind of like these rappers as an example when they be saying stuff like this. Instead of using languages like, oh, this B word gave me head and this and that, you know what I'm saying? This B word gave me dome and this and that. That's the language of lust. But when you really like clean up your language, bro, all that lust is not going to build up in your heart like that because you're changing the language. If you're attracted to somebody, you could just easily be like, you know what? I'm attracted to that person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really into this person. Like, you change the language, bro. It just changes a lot of stuff, bro. I'm trying to tell you, it changes a lot of this. It's the language, bro, because I feel like sometimes we be objectifying each other just through the language within itself. Lust is already a hard thing to deal with. But it's like the words we choose to think in. Bro, y'all heard that horn, bro? Trying to interrupt the message of the gospel. We're going to have to see that horn on Judgment Day, bro. That horn going to start in front of God on Judgment Day, bro. It's trying to interrupt the message of the gospel. But look, let's continue, though. We got beef with that horn, bro. But let's continue though with the message, bro. Like, what was I even saying, bro? Like, bro, interrupted the message of the God. There's consequences for all things, bro. I'm trying to tell you, but yeah, it's like bro. When you're trying to like express how you feel about a person, one thing that I really noticed, and that's something that's been helping me, bro, is just changing my language, bro. Just clean up your language, bro. Just switch from the language of lust and change to a language of just being more mature. Know what I'm saying? If you're attracted to a person, just change the language on how you think about that person in your mind, bro. And it's just going to just remove a lot of that lust energy from your heart. Because you're not using the language of lust, the words of lust that's going to add more lust energy to your heart. It's just going to add more fuel to the fire. Lust is already strong enough. Why are you trying to help it? Lust don't need your help. It's already strong enough on its own. But Now, when you're attracted to a person and you use mature language and you know what I'm saying, you're using the language of love and mature language, you're just more mature about it, and you're not trying to degrade the person or use the language of lust, it don't mean you're gonna sleep with them. It just means that you're just human. You're attracted to certain people. So it's like, it don't mean you're gonna sleep with them, but it's like you're just keeping it real, but without the language of lust, if that makes sense. Without the language of degrading them, without the language of objectifying them. You know what I'm saying? So this is pretty much everything I wanted to say, bro. Sometimes it's the language, bro. It's one of the root causes of what adds fire to the problem that's already strong as hell, bro. So sometimes it's just the language. Just cleaning up your language, bro. Finding different words, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like finding different words to use and this and that. Like, and then another example of the language of lust is like, oh, this B word did this and gave me head, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I F this person up and this and that, but you know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, first of all, you calling them the B word, then you say you F them, then you say this B gave you head and this and that, bro, like, no respect at all. So it's like, in a way, that's also like a form of objectifying, just through words and through language. You know what I'm saying? You say you F this person, you calling them the B word, you say they gave you head, you say this and that. Like, the language of lust is what's promoted all throughout the music, all throughout all types of stuff. So it's like, when you change the language, bro, all that lust energy is just going to tone down in your heart, bro. I'm trying to tell you, like, and if you're struggling with it, bro, just ask God to show you, to give you better language to use. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're sweating somebody and you really find them attractive and you really like, bro, like, you really into somebody for real, you could keep it real because you're going to be attracted to people. That's just, bro, you're going to be attracted to certain people. That's just human nature. But it's like how you express it. You could express it in the language of lust, or you could just admire them and be attracted to them in a more like clean way, if that makes sense, in a more language of love type way, like mature way. It's like a choice, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what language is you going to use, bro? It's like a choice. But that's pretty much everything that I wanted to say, bro. Like, if you're struggling with like the language that you use, bro, just ask God to give you better words to use or better language to use, and it really will help tone down that stuff, bro. This is just, you know what I'm saying, just something that I've been doing and practicing, bro. I'm telling you, it just helps, bro. But that's pretty much everything I wanted to say. That was just some tips and advice on lust and this and that. But this is not everything about lust. This is just like a few tips and some advice about it. But that's pretty much everything I wanted to say, bro. Peace.